What is going on, guys? Judo Sloth here, and welcome to today's Clash of Clans video featuring Town Hall 10 attack strategies. Amazing stuff by Elite Gaming. Getting into the first one here, massive shout out to Judo. This is an amazing attack, did brilliantly at Town Hall 9 as well. And if you guys do want to join Elite Gaming, all of the information you need is on the screen right now. So starting with this attack then, sets up the funnel beautifully with the king and a couple of, mini cleanup troops, if you will, at the top there. A few archers is enough to get that job done, and then down the bottom a few minions are able to snipe out that army camp. Obviously the army camp, again, it's a big building, it creates a massive gap within the base, but you can see exactly where he's targeting here. So a test wall breaker did come in before the main pack busts open the wall here to allow the queen access where she needs to go. Now check out all of the air defense down the bottom here. We're going to be able to pick a couple of them off in order to set up this Lavaloon attack. Continues to rage the queen forward. Very, very patient with this one. Down goes the enemy queen. Out comes the CC. Poison spell goes on top of it in order to get that down. Look at how close this witch is. She just walks into that poison spell, gets herself killed essentially as the queen continues to move forward, takes down another air defense, going to pop that ability to get through the Inferno Tower as well, take down the sweeper, and then the Lavaloon portion comes in around the top. Obviously initially, as you normally see with Lavaloon, the haste spells come in to get the balloons powered forward, and he does that from every single angle. As they then clump up, look at this, guys, wizard towers galore in the middle, but a rage spell and a heal spell is going to counteract that beautifully. Takes that down, and then towards the back end here, there are just so many balloons left that it really is not going to matter. Minions continue to come up around the outside of the base just to help with cleanup. I mean, this base was demolished. He made it look so easy, but that was such a beautiful attack in my opinion. Couldn't have gone off any better, so massive shout out there to Judo. Let's move on to the next one, where we are going to feature the Hog Riders. Now, beatdown is amazing with Hog Riders. He 3-stars this like nothing, and he 3-stars with the Hog Riders like nothing as well. Again, he does tend to come in with a kill squad, often comes in with a queen charge as well, but for this one, bringing in 2 golems, because they are single target infernos, but the golems need to tank out of the way of the single target infernos, so it's not going to matter. Obviously the issue with bringing giants is they're susceptible to splash damage, spring traps, anything like that. The golems obviously aren't, so even though the giants can add up to more health and they are good against single infernos, you don't necessarily need the giants if you're going to be tanking out of the way of single infernos. I hope that made sense, guys. Anyway, we are coming forward with the bowlers as well, taking a deep kill squad here in order to take out quite a lot, and then the queen is going to use that ability and get that single target inferno down alongside the wizard tower as well, and a giant bomb. Brilliant stuff for the Hog Riders. They come in from the west of the base to make sure we can target the archer towers at the bottom here, and then notice how he brings Hog Riders into both of these mortars. The last thing you want is the Hog Riders having to kind of take a detour out of the base essentially whilst they're still getting targeted, so that's why you would continue to bring the Hog Riders on the outside. They are then going to merge in with the main pack here, and the heal spells are going to be used where needed. Giant bombs, wizard towers, you guys know all of this stuff, and then at the end there's obviously a lot of point defense. There's damage coming in from the skeletons as well. Nice use of the heal spell alongside that poison spell to take them down as well. A couple of them just about run into the poison spell, doesn't quite get them down, but at this stage the base is done. Again, there's a giant bomb goes off as well. However, towards the end of the raid, it doesn't matter whether your Hog Riders have 1% health. If they survive and they get the job done, that is what matters, guys. You don't necessarily need them at full health once you get to the end of the raid. So brilliant attack there by Beatdown, up to another one of our beasts. I mean, these guys have been tearing it up. I've got to say, we really pushed Spartans Legacy. Towards the end, Spartans Legacy had created a few more attacks at Town Hall 11. They didn't quite get it done to 99%, we have to say, but they did get that 1 3-star, which gave them the victory. Moving on to this one though, TT, we have to say as well, in his other attack he got 99%, so close to the 6-pack. Happens all too often though, so it's not really too much of a difference for him. He does like the BoWitch attack. He's an absolute beast with it, guys. We have explained it before. We've had guides on it. The main thing that he does is brings a queen around the outside of the base. He does this quite differently to how a lot of people would do the BoWitch, and I think it works super effective. Basically, if you can steer the queen around where there's no air defense, bring them healers in with her, then it works out quite nicely. He does the exact same on the other side with the bowler and witch combination, however he brings a healer in just to help out. Now he mixes some Valkyries in with this one. The Falcon attack, which we'll show you next, is obviously very, very popular, and what it does is, even just a couple of Valkyries on this one, helps him to break through walls later on in the base. If your bowlers get caught up, it's not going to be good news, guys. They take a massive damage, but watch the Valkyries here. As they move forward under rage, they just tear the walls open. That is going to allow the bowlers out. I mean, I think they've already gone down actually, guys. Maybe they helped out with this wall up here, but that's the idea of the Valkyries being in there as well. If there's compartments where the buildings are kind of condensed, if you will, they can get in between them, they can hack them apart, and they can help get you through the base as well. The queen comes in on this one, interestingly. Normally he walks them around the outside, but bringing the Valkyries in, much like the Falcon attack, you actually want the queen behind 9 times out of 10, because the troops will run ahead, the Valkyries and bowlers will run ahead. The queen can then be used for these final few defenses, because she'll still be at full health. A lot of the time you'll still have that ability, and she can kind of clean up from there. She's going to take out a couple of the defenses. We still have that bowler and witch combination with that single healer moving around the outside of the base. Just shows how valuable that is. I mean, even without the healer, the bowlers and witches do amazing as a combination around the outside. With that single healer, if you can keep them alive, you're on to a winner, guys. Let's move on to the final attack for this one. We did show you this because we brought an entire video on it. I wanted to throw it in here since we were showing you a bunch of different strategies at Town Hall 10 and some amazing attacks by our guys over at Elite Gaming. Big John, again, an absolute beast. You guys know how much I like the bowler, just as a little bit of a snipe troop. Help to create the funnel, take out two buildings with one hit, essentially. This base is nice for the Falcon because it's nice and long and narrow. The Valkyries can run straight through it, and all the buildings are kind of quite condensed, so the Valkyries are going to get in between them and be very effective. So again, once you've created the funnel on either side, you want your queen to come behind the Valkyries. They're super fast, guys. They're going to get ahead of the queen, protect her. She's going to be fine there. A lot of the time you do not need wall breakers. The Valkyries are fast enough and strong enough to get through the walls. A couple of them used in this one. The main thing is leading your spells. You can see the rage spell kind of moved into the base essentially. Just gets the Valkyries on the outside, and then they're going to continue to be under rage. That is true with the heal spells as well. You want to bring a combination of both of them essentially. The Valkyries are very powerful, but they go down very quick under splash damage. If there's any giant bombs or anything in there, they can go down very quick, guys. So make sure you're leading the heal spells as well, and a combination of them both will tear open the middle of the base. Then you want to bring Hog Riders, balloons, whatever the base suits for the back end. So we missed a few defenses at the bottom here. That's why the Hog Riders came into the south. They are going to then move up towards the final defenses at the top. Not quite going to get them down, but we still have the Queen with a healer, the King's ability with a bunch of Valkyries. Once you've set that funnel, you've got the Valkyries into the base, they will gut it, guys. They'll absolutely tear the middle of the base up, but they do tend to kind of digress to one side of the base. They don't tend to kind of split up. They tend to stick together and go to one side of the base. So you do get left with defenses at the end. However, it's not the type of strategy that you run out of time. The Valkyries are super fast. They take down every single building, so it's not like you have to run back in order to clean up either. But that's where the Hog Riders come in to help them defenses, any of the ones you've missed. And like we said, even towards the end, if you don't quite get them all, Valkyries tend to run around and get them anyway, guys. So that wraps it up for this one. A bunch of Town Hall 10 strategies that you can use. Make sure to let me know your favourite down in the comment section. That wraps it up for this one though. I've been your host, Judo Sloth, and until next time, peace out.